Okay, not bad. So we had said 3 o'clock, and I think going by our timing, we've come in by about 3:07, which says that भाई हम बदल रहे हैं, हम बदल रहे हैं और हमारी आदतें बदल रही है, हम ज्यादा प्रोफेशनल हो रहे हैं. लेकिन आज बताऊं क्या है, आज वी हैड टू गेट सिंपल प्रोफेशनल रियली, बिकॉज आज इतने दिनों के बाद गली में आज चांद निकला, गली में आज आज दिनों के बाद नहीं, महीनों के बाद 420 grams में आज चांद निकला. Former India captain and a friend of the show, the one and only Renedy Singh is joining us on the show. Renedy भाई, so good to see you. How have you been? और ऐसा लग रहा है कि अगले सीजन आप खेलने जा रहे हो, उतने ज्यादा फिट लग रहे हो आप.
Brother, thanks a lot. I was not here for the last 5 months. It's only because I wanted to concentrate as an assistant. हम लोग जो काम करते हैं, तो I just wanted to concentrate on football, and it's not easy to concentrate on both. So मेरा यही था कि हाँ, I know that you both are my very very good friends, and we have done this show for a very long time now, but it's something that which I didn't want to for 5 months, just to concentrate. But I'm happy to be back here, and talking to you both, and then it's nice. It's nice, and India playing so well yesterday. Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's good to see you. It's good to see that you're back, Renedy bhai, and we completely agree that. And which is why we call you a friend of the show, because friends ke beech mein we understand this. We understand that there is a larger objective, and we are always happy to have you on our show, irrespective whether it's after a gap of 8 months, after a gap of 8 years. आपको जब भी शो पे आना है, आप हमें बता देना. हमारी यहाँ पे लाइनें are always open for you. वही लाइनों की बात करी तो हमारे साथ देखिए जी, कश्मीर से एक और हमारे इतने दिनों के बाद हमारे चांद हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं, केरला ब्लास्टर्स के इशफाक अहमद. आई थिंक ही इज गॉट सम इंटरनेट. सर ये देखिए, आप देखो, साफ पता चल जाता है. दिल्ली में 2 लोग हैं, वो टी शर्ट और शर्ट में चल रहे हैं. गोवा में बैठे हैं, वो उन्होंने बस ऊपर पहना है, नीचे कुछ पहना नहीं है. और आप देखिए कश्मीर से जैकेट सब लगा के आए हैं. गुड टू सी यू इशफाक.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Good to see you, Renedy bhai.
Hi, hello, Ishfaq. Hello, Ishfaq. Yeah. कैसा है मेरा भाई?
भाई आप क्या खा रहे हो? दिन ब दिन छोटे लग रहे हो.
अरे ब्रदर यार, I've been working hard.
मैंने सोचा कोई जड़ी बूटी तो नहीं हो जाती.
हमें भी बता देना प्लीज. अच्छा ठीक है ना. The reason why all 4. That's okay, no problem. We're still happy to have you. The reason we're all here together is because भाई देखो, इंडियन टीम बड़े महीनों बाद दिखी कल फील्ड पे, और ये जो कमेंट्री है
دفاعات منتخبنا. الكرة تعود بهذه الوضعية لمصلحة المنتخب الهندي عرضيا ومتابعة. هدف أول يأتي للمنتخب الهندي. نعم,
ये था मनवीर सिंह का इक्वलाइजर, और ये थी बेहद जबरदस्त कमेंट्री. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट ओमान स्पोर्ट्स. बाय द वे, जो यूरो स्पोर्ट को आप लोग गंदी बातें बोल रहे हैं, द जोक इज ऑन यू दोस्त, बिकॉज व्हाट यू सॉ वाज यूरो स्पोर्ट वाया ओमान स्पोर्ट फॉर इंडियन स्पोर्ट्स लविंग पीपल लाइक यू. सो द जोक इज ऑन यू. ये तो पहले से प्लान हुआ था, एंड वी लव्ड इट. सो देखने को मिला, मैच देखने को मिला, मजा आ गया मैच में. हबीबी मीन्स बिलवड, हमारी इंडियन टीम वहां पे देखने को हमें मिली, और उसी के बारे में आज बातचीत करेंगे. मुकाबला था ओमान और इंडिया का. 1-1 is the game. It ended, and it was a game of 2 halves. The first 45 was a completely different Indian team. The second 45 you saw a completely different Indian team. Annie मेरा भाई यहाँ पे है, and debutants, 10 debutants you got to see being put out by Igor Stimac. I don't think any coach has ever put in so many debuts for a national team in a single game. So that was good to see that, and a majority of the players who came on to play for the Indian team, they looked comfortable. It looked like they believed that they were there in that long, in the international era, because we always looking कि आप domestic level से international level का जो सीढ़ी है, कि आप उसको चढ़ पाएंगे कि नहीं. Renedy bhai, your thoughts from the 90 you've seen, and you must take into account the first 45 and also the second 45, and how do you see the two combined together from an Indian perspective?
I think it was a very good match. Having said that, the Oman team, I'm sure we have played 11 times and we could only drew twice. And I myself and many other players, we were there for the World Cup qualifying when Stephen Constantine was there. we lost 4-1 in World Cup qualifying, and in that match I scored the first goal, and then we conceded 4 after that. And Oman is a very, very tough side, and we knew that. And yesterday, why I'm saying it was a good match, it's because Oman in the first half we couldn't control the game. They were controlling the game, and we knew that this was going to be a tough match with a lot of running. And the players who have played yesterday in first 11, and these are the players are all good runners. I think Stimac is very, very good coach. You know why I'm saying that? The way he have put the first 11, he knew that Oman, even though we want to play a great football, it's not going to be great, at least in the first half. So if you see Asutosh, Bipin, Akash Misra, Asik, Suresh, Jackson, Raulin, Manbir, Sandesh, Sana, Amrinder, everyone has played well in this. Those players 11, I'm not saying that the other 11 players played bad, but the players who have put in first 11, they all have played well in ISL, Indian Super League this year. And they're all good runners. Even though in second half, people talk about second half, mein acha khela. Yes, second half we played better, we knocked the ball around well, we moved the ball around well. But hum log wahi second half wala agar first half ko dalta, it doesn't mean that, because first half it's always tough, and we have to understand that they have changed the players also. And it's always 2 halves, and everyone talking about second half, but I think the first half, it was also a very good half.
That's a good point you bring out, because Ishfaq, आप ये वही टीम है जिनके खिलाफ जो आपने क्वालिफायर खेला था इंडिया में, सेकंड हाफ में ही इन्होंने हमारी बत्ती निकाली थी इन द लास्ट 15 मिनट्स, और गोल मार के चले गए थे, and they went away with that winning team. They won that game with that score line. However, yesterday, do you agree with Renedy bhai that the first half you got to see a lot of positives, even though it wasn't there from an Indian perspective going forward, but in terms of organization, matching them in terms of blocking space, not giving space?
Of course, I agree with Bhai. I think there was individual errors, which, always are there. People do that, mistakes and all that. But we, as Renedy Bhai, was absolutely right that they are not a weak team. They are a strong team. We know that we in fact knew that they were going to dominate. So it was how you will negotiate the first half, and giving the depth of the squad now we have is brilliant. You have seen the second half how Apuya, or as I told you earlier, I was chatting with you. I'm a big fan of Suresh. I think he is one hell of a player. Giving forward, I think he's gonna be country's best defensive midfielder. He has speed, he has power. If he learns game management a little bit more, I think he will be the one of the best player India ever have produced at that position, especially defensive role. Because he was one of the players I felt he could match the pace of the game. And as Renedy Bhai said, this was a tactical battle. The first half was, like as Renedy Bhai said, more runner players like playing, because we know we're going to be under pressure, and that's what they did. Thankfully we didn't concede that penalty goal. Good save. You have to give credit to Amrinder. He didn't go down early. He forced him to to do the mistake. He was trying to. He was the ball till end. Great goalkeeping. And as Renedy Bhai rightly said, you have to give the credit to the coach also. Then good changes in the second half, and I think we know that we didn't play that kind of football how we would have liked in first half. But you have to see through as coach's point of view. When you are playing a strong team, they're gonna dominate. It's about how you negotiate. I think they did pretty well. Keeping that compactness. And second half, you saw they started pushing up, and we got a fabulous goal also.
Renedy bhai, I'm just going to go a little bit left field in terms of, I'm not going into the game right now. You've given 10 debuts. 10 debuts before that June period, which is your mini World Cup, जो आपने 3 मुकाबले खेलने, क्योंकि आपने एशियन कप में अभी आपकी जगह पक्की नहीं है. तो आपके सामने अभी ये जो 2-3 मुकाबले, शायद आई थिंक 2 और मुकाबले जब घर वापस आएंगे, they'll try organizing before June. Were you surprised with the amount of debuts he handed? Or were you hoping that you would play a solid 11 so that you can put them into shape because you're playing after so long and get them ready for that June thing? Or does this tell you that he's still not settled on what is his best 11 with regards to India?
Yeah, of course, there will be changes when the tournament comes. Yeah, there will be changes when the. But if you see the players, and he have seen all the good thing about is in Indian Super League now you can see all the matches. Ishfaq, the assistant coach, is here, and me, I was working for East Bengal. So now even the coaches, even the assistant coaches, even the main coaches can see, the head coach can see all the matches, and they can see that the players. Name one player in that 11 or in that whole squad who was not playing well in Indian Super League. So do you have to give them a chance? Having said you have done, if they have done so well in individually and for the team in Indian Super League. So now you have to see. And yesterday was the best platform to showcase, and they have see what they could see. And then now even players like there are players like Liston. I feel Liston can be a very good player. He's a very interesting player. But he will surely come someday. And yesterday, at least in the first half, I think that was not his game. Second half you could have, but how many players are going to give a debut? But he's a very interesting player. I would love to see someday, and then I'm sure he will come maybe against UAE. Second half he may come, but whatever. Again, I'm saying that whatever he put the first 11, I think those are the players. They should be there. And again, when a player like Rainier, a player like Mawia, a player like Yasir coming in, they are good with the ball. They are more comfortable with the ball. They are more comfortable with the ball. But if coach give them a chance on the first half, we don't know they will be able to produce the same. So these are the things. Yeah. So these are the things that and that's why like Ishfaq, I'm giving credit to coach. It's not easy, but you have to, as a coach, it's not like before where you don't watch any of your games. The players who are in the league. But now you can watch each and every game, and according to the game, he has given the players a chance. And there are a few, 2-3 players, good players, missing out. I'm sure they will get a chance and they will prove.
That's why there is a good squad by.
But sir, my point is this. I agree. I completely agree. There's depth in the squad. Depth in the squad, and you test these new players generally when you've come to the end of one cycle and you're preparing for a new cycle, right? So you have months with them, or so many games or something like that. You get them slowly blood them in. I am saying, abhi aap jo bhi kar rahe ho is in preparation for June. 3 games in June. Those are competition games. I am saying right now, is this the time to test all these players? And if he is testing all these players, is he not settled? Yeah. That's my point. Does it give you a sense that he's not settled on his best 11?
Yeah, but this is time to see. Yeah, this is the time to see. This is the time to see if they can really do it or not. Then when do you test if it's in July? And these are the players that who have really performed well in their respective clubs. So if you don't see in these 2 matches, when will you see? Yeah, it's
there is no absolutely. I was gonna add that one only. These are the players who have been playing regular in their clubs, and he has seen them now. And if you talk about Renedy was talking about like Jigson, the amount of running he did in first half, and mind you, he's good with the ball also. He's not bad with ball also. These are the people, gives you that physical presence also. He's 6'2" or 6'1". That's in during this match, and he scored also a header also. So I think this is the time, and some of these players have played a good age group, like up to 21, 22. They are not new to international football. I know that is a different level, but they have certain amount of experience behind. And I totally agree with Renedy. There are not so many matches in national teams. When is he going to test them? These are the 2 only matches he's going to test him. And regarding he's not settled, I think he's very much settled. And the first 11 he put to negotiate the first half, which everybody is talking, we didn't play good football. Okay, that is not when you will be in coach's shoes, it's not about sometimes playing in a good football. It's they did a great job restricting them 1-0. I think that goal was also avoidable. It was It was our ball where we conceded from on the wing, right wing. Ashutosh conceded the ball position, which, like, I'm sure if it is his first match also, he will do better. In fact, he was good also. So I totally agree with Renedy. It's about those players who manage to hold Oman, got them frustrated, and then you put some new players who are comfortable with the ball, and they did the magic.
Yeah, okay, fair. I agree with you guys. And you could see that in the second half. Ki first half, you were matching them on numbers, but the pressing was not there. Like there was this gap. So वो move कर रहे थे. Second half में फट चढ़ रहे थे उन पे और ball उनसे छीन रहे थे. And then you had players on the ball, so they had, of course, were moving it around as well. Like Renedy bhai, I agree with you. He's a good coach because I saw what he did with Ashutosh. Now, if you had to pick one player who was making the maximum errors, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but you're seeing the game. Ashutosh was making a lot of errors, right? It's his first game for the national team.
Yeah.
He's been around as a professional player for 12 years. I think he was saying that. 12 साल बाद call up आया और खेल रहा है team के लिए. बहुत बड़ा दिन है उसके लिए. If he would have taken him out in the game, you would have dented his confidence. क्योंकि वो mistake पे mistake कर रहा था. But क्योंकि उसने उसको पूरा 90 मिनट दे दिया. खेल. चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए. खेल. अब that same Ashutosh in the next game, जब भी उसको खेलने को मिलेगा, he'll feel a lot more settled. आप लोग सब देखा है कि नर्व्स होते हैं, you might have the best ability, but nerves get the best of you sometimes. तो पास जो होता है कभी-कभी पूरा नहीं जाता, पास जो होता है कभी सही नहीं जाता. And I thought that way, in a sense, he understands these players कि कैसे groom करके अंदर लाना है into this level.
Yeah, I think Ashutosh yesterday, of course, you're saying that he have ran quite a lot, but he couldn't. When we have the ball, he was not too comfortable with the ball. This is what you're telling, right? Yeah, but I think it will get better because you have to see that this is the first match that he played for India.
Yeah,
and after that, we need to give him a confidence. And in a friendly like this, if you take out just straight away, but I think he have a decent match. If you see the whole, but. There is one, but he has got a competition when Ashish Rai come in. Ashish Rai is a very, very interesting player as well, who has done really well for me. He's one of the best right back, I feel, even though he's very, very young. So Ashish Rai coming in and Ashutosh, they are going to have a tough competition for sure. But yesterday, if you see the match, there is a process that we cannot skip. I always say that. How did we concede the goal? How did we concede the goal? It's not created by them. It's because we wanted to play, because it's our mistake how we wanted to build up the game. We wanted to build up the game.
How did they get the penalty?
So how do we Sundays in that penalty, Sundays tried to play, we build up the game. Sundays missed out, and in that situation, our players fouled him, but fouled the opponent. This is how we are trying, right? So why I'm saying we cannot skip the process is that now we can play long. We can play long and start from there. But now, as we have played like that for 15, 20 years, playing long and coming back, again. But that situation could have avoided. But now this is a time they are seeing. But in another few years, I think when we will be much more comfortable with the ball. But we all want to see how we play in Indian Super League, box to box and everyone attacking, the open game. But we cannot, if we do play an open game yesterday in first half, we will concede 2 or 3 for sure. But if we have to see that, we have to see that, and again, act after what they do. So these are the things that we cannot skip, but it will come. But there is a long way now. Defending wise, we know that against Qatar, we did so well, but we couldn't do well against Bangladesh. If you see, we did very, very well against Qatar. It's the same yesterday. We did very well against Oman. But are we ready to do well with Afghanistan? Are we ready to do well with Bangladesh? So that's the key. And we have few players who are good with the ball. But when they're defending deep, are we ready? But that's a process that we cannot skip, and it will be much tougher match again. So against UAE also, I'm sure we will do well. But then when we have to get a point,
we totally, because we are very good in absolutely, Renedy bhai. It's not now. It's from the ages. Like when we play a compact football, we are good in frustrating people, and then that is there. And I cannot agree more with you. It is sometimes whether we can beat a team comfortably who are almost same rank or lower than us. Because Now what happens? They play a compact football. They ask us, okay, show us what you can do. That is where like we have to like as Renedy Bhai said, process in couple of years. It's already.
But sir, my point is this only. I agree with you. Process takes time. You have to give it a number of years. And now with the age group that you have, you can say that it can happen because you have the players of that age who you can groom over a number of years. पर मैं तो गाड़ी जून में अटका रहा हूँ क्योंकि जून में आपने एक कतर के खिलाफ खेलना है जहां जैसे आपको रेनेडी भाई ने बोला भाई पीछे बैठना पड़ेगा, इतना ओपन एक्सपेंसिव फुटबॉल नहीं खेल सकते आप. तो वो पीछे बैठने वाला फुटबॉल की क्षमता है इन यंग लड़कों में या आपको you'll have to go back to your tried and tested.
No, I think these guys are very, very fit. I think the guys who have played yesterday, like I said, they all are good runners. If you see, they all from our days, if you see these players are much fitter than what we were. Maybe technically we had good players technically, but we were not as fit as they were. Look at Asif Karuniwan, he can run.
He's so
look
good.
at
He's really good.
Akash Misra, he can run whole match. Look at Bipin, look at Manbir, Suresh, Jackson, Raulin, Asutosh. They can run whole 90 minutes. But, to play that good football, playing out from the back, it will take time. It will take time. So whenever we play against Oman or Qatar with a bigger team, I feel these players are good enough to defend, to come back. But if they do 10 players do sit back, are we ready to break them down? And that's where the big question is. So it will get better. So these players, I feel that they will be ready to play this Oman or Qatar, not Oman, Qatar. So even UAE, so there will be so I'm really looking forward to see how they play against UAE also. The way they have played, they can keep compact and in second half with our good play, with our technically good players getting in, if they can change the game. But how many chances did we get yesterday? One, two,
one. Renedy by one.
And one half chance, and I would say one half chance in Bipin. Bipin couldn't take the shot. He tried to dribble in, and they snatched away. So now, this is the thing. So, and when we are getting a chance, yesterday we took it, but we have to take it. We are not going to get many chance in this type of game.
You have to give credit to that boy. Striker के नजरिए से अगर आपको chance नहीं मिलता, एक chance आता है, बहुत मुश्किल होता है उसको convert करना. उसने convert करा perfectly. नीचे बॉल टप्पा मार के कॉर्नर पे एकदम गोल.
Yeah, it was a good build-up. Asutosh played it well. The short pass to Bipin, and Bipin, he can kick left and right, and his form has been going well, and I hope he continues the same. So, and it was a great goal from Manbir. So everything went well, but now we have to see that against UAE, if we can play the same game again. But I'm sure everyone must be thinking, or if the second half, if you can play like this, why not 90 minutes? But it's not going to be. It's not going to be easy. Yeah,
I get your point. Yes, Ishfaq, आप कुछ कह रहे थे.
Of view, Renedy Bhai, that's a fan's point of view. Like, why can't we play like second half? But I hope fans do understand there are restrictions when you play, as Renedy Bhai and me already explained. It is not always about full match. We break it in two halves. Sometimes, in
4 halves also.
In ISL, we break it 4 halves also. Like they are very strong team. Like these teams are very strong. Like as Renedy Bhai rightly said. Now the question is, can we repeat it against UAE? Can we do that same thing? Like now, mind you, UAE will be a little bit nervous also, like they will be saying, hey, watch out. It's not, Oman is not a bad team, like second half, when if they must, I'm sure they must have watched the match for analyzing the match, like it's a pride for, they will come with full force, like from the first half only. Now again, we have to see, I'm very interested to see what kind of first 11 coach will put, because it will clear a lot of air also, whether what you were talking about, how about whether he's settled or.
I think he'll change. I think all जो लड़के उनको chance देगा वो.
I read is one of his interview where he said he knows his first 11 what he's gonna. There is only one position that he was not sure. I wonder which is that.
Interesting. अब वैसे by the way हमारा भाई आ गया है. Just for all of you who are missing Siddhant, he had gone to fix the satellite for Eurosport, and he's made sure that the satellite will now show you SD versions of the game as well versus UAE. भाई कहाँ चले गए थे आप? यहाँ पे डिस्कशन हो रही थी जबरदस्त. आप कहीं लापता हो गए थे?
I was getting a call from the office, some end of financial year stuff. They're threatening to stack on a lot of taxes. So I had to send some quick emails. Sorry, bad. But I was listening to the conversation. Maybe the one position that is in question is, or that is at least up for discussion, is the goalkeeper's position. And I think the first question I wanted to ask you guys was what you made of Amrinder and how he played the game. One is from a distribution point of view, because there were a lot of times when we just gave the ball back.
Homework करके आया भाई अपना. Yeah, good question.
But
okay, I think for me, what I was saying, let me answer you that because I'm leaving them later. Yeah. So I feel he had a very good game. He was one of the players who had really good game. You know, like good thing is like he looks like a leader now behind. He, you know, like he's not in a hurry to kick the ball. But as I told you that there must have been strategy to try to play out. This is a practice, you know, like a warm up match. Let's try to build up. You know, like he won't just do it for sake of doing, just okay, try to build up until and unless there was a clear instruction from coaching staff. You know, like I am sure, you know, like there was a clear instruction from coaching staff. First, try to build up. As Renedy Bhai said, that is where, you know, like we were a little bit, you know, like conceded position couple of times on which we gave the penalty away also. And in fact, you know, like if you see the goal we gave away, that comes from our, you know, like mistake only. It was not a wonderfully created move and they score a good goal. Like we did, we created a good move, ball position, kept the ball and good cross and scored an open field goal. I think Amrinder had a good game. It's going to be very interesting, you know, like because I somehow feel the goal we conceded because of the length and the experience of in international matches. Maybe Gurpreet would have been, you know, like more handy there because that ball was a kind of a goalkeeper, or it was not that dangerous. I think he should have caught that ball, giving the form he is in.
No, true. Renedy, I think the point is, see, we know that Amrinder is a good shot stopper. There is no doubt about it. He's been doing it regularly. But more often than not, we've seen, because he's, we can say, number 2 to Gurpreet in terms of what you've seen in the past, the chances for the Indian team for Amrinder to play are much lesser, right? So I feel at least, जब वो उसको मौका मिलता है, you know, then at that time it's like कि मुझे मौका मिला है, कि मुझे खेलना है, मुझे game करना है, right? There is no doubt about his talent. But then you see these mistakes that was happening, because it's not the first time you've seen a couple of mistakes from Amrinder. You've seen them in the past also when he's played for the Indian team. थोड़े उसने mistakes किए हैं तब भी. What would you, if you were the coach, and you know here's a guy who's equally talented as your Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, maybe Gurpreet is better at distribution, maybe Amrinder is a better shot stopper, whatever. Would you persist with playing Amrinder so that he also sort of gets that feeling कि एक मैच के लिए नहीं आ रहा मैं सिर्फ, मैं 2 मैच खेलूंगा, मैं 3 मैच खेलूंगा, कि I am also there?
I feel, see, Gurpreet is a very, very good goalkeeper, and for so many years now, you know, even though he's quite young. But Amrinder, the way he's been playing for Mumbai, for Indian Super League, I think he deserves a chance. And everyone, you know, goalkeeper, you have to give time. You cannot just take, you know, it's not like the outfield players where you come in, you go out. But goalkeepers, you have to give time. If we know that what Amrinder can do, and we know that what Gurpreet has done for so long. So and having seen the last few matches of the last league, if you see, Amrinder has done really, really well. So I think you have to, and he deserves a chance again, and I'm sure he will do well. And he's good with legs also. It's not that he's only a shot stopper. He's very good. And Gurpreet, I'm saying he is also. So there is a tough competition, and I think for coach will give. I'm sure he has to give time. He has to give chance again.
But that's the tough part, na, Ishfaq or Renedy bhai, that from a coach's perspective, ki if you have to blood in Amrinder, then at the risk of making Gurpreet sit out, right? Then how long do you do it for? Because Gurpreet is also there. So Gurpreet ko bhi match khelne hai. So how do you do the same? How do you find the balance? You can't keep changing your game.
I think you are asking me or
हाँ जी आपके चले गए थे, so I diverted to Renedy bhai, now I've come back to you. मैं देखते रहता हूँ कौन कट रहा है, मैं वापस उनके उल्टा कर देता हूँ फिर.
So, expert, na? You are the expert.
Yes, sir.
So I think Renedy bhai is very right. Like you can't deny, like that Amrinder was best goalkeeper in this league, Indian Super League this season. There were other, I'm not one of the best, but he was really, really good. And I can tell you why also, because the two matches we played, he was the man of the match against us. He was fabulous. Like we couldn't believe the sum of the goals he saved against us. I still can't I can't forget that the lob Vincente Gomez was trying to put over him, and what fabulous save that was. Like I agree. I agree with Renedy bhai. He's not just a goal, like a shot stopper. This season he has shown the leadership quality, which I was really happy to see in him. And goalkeepers do take time. You can't. I think he had a good game last. It was a good match. Like it's up to coach now whether he wants to continue to give him what coach thinks. If coach thinks he's the best for him, then he must play him. But if coach thinks that Gurpreet has already enough experience to tell you. I don't think both of our from Punjab. I think they are both very good friends. I think there's a healthy competition. I don't think it will do any harm to Gurpreet. Like he's definitely the best goalkeeper for me. Maybe this season in Super League he was not having that great season, and I think their entire team didn't have that great season, and it reflected on the table also. But when you talk about Amrinder, I think for me he was one of the best goalkeepers in the league. In fact, they won the league. He was the captain. He showed that leadership, and he thoroughly deserved this chance. And maybe, who knows, maybe that he may start the official match also.
Yeah. Ani bhai, let's get you in the conversation क्योंकि अभी तक आपने बस 4 शब्द बोले हैं. See, so I am a convert, courtesy of Renedy bhai and Ishfaq, because before this show, मैं तो बोल रहा था यार first half में क्या खेले हो आप? नहीं खेले हो आप. Second half में आप खेले हो. But they're right saying कि first half में your approach was something else. You can't be so expansive. You can't be saying कि हम ये टिकी ये करेंगे, बॉल रखेंगे, तो आप खा लोगे उनको. Second half में आपने उनको खोला फिर करा. Were your thoughts also the same, or were we also thinking कि यार first half में आप क्या खेल रहे हो? बॉल ही नहीं छू रहे आप. जब छू रहे हो आपके आसपास कोई दिख नहीं रहा हो क्या रहा है. This tale of two halves, tale of two approaches is something you'll need to keep doing at international football.
I think so, man. It's like what Renedy was saying at the beginning of the show, right? When he started off by comparing kind of a game in which when he was in the squad, when they played Oman that time, and the kind of approach you have to have with the kind of quality that we have. Let's be realistic about that. So this sort of, I mean, maybe it's a basketball term, but half-court press approach in the first half that we had was a pragmatic choice, I think, particularly if you're playing a squad that is essentially all new at this level. I mean, obviously he's played them based on their performance in the ISL, which cannot be argued against. Players should be given the opportunity to start off, and especially when you have a situation where Sunil is, for example, not in the squad, so you get a chance to play someone else in that striker's position. Good. You know that giving him an extra match experience doesn't really add to his, anything as a player. Obviously, he would love to be possible, but it's a great opportunity to give Amrinder the start that he got. The first half was difficult to watch, and I can't imagine how difficult it must have been for our players because they had to do a lot of, you could see from the pictures teams the kind of effort that our boys were putting in versus the kind of effort Oman were putting in, because they had the ball all the time, whereas we were chasing the whole time and not being passes in the first half, which was probably a combination of maybe nervous energy, maybe not having that composure, and because we were
Eurosport का satellite down है. Let's
but
go
I
to
agree, but
Kashmir Sport. Sir, Kashmir Sport. Ishfaq has to leave. Sorry, Renedy bhai. Ishfaq has to leave. Ishfaq, before you leave, sir.
Renedy bhai, before I leave, I want to tell you that Suresh, I'm a big fan. I was already a fan. I thought that always he's a fabulous player. He's a great player in making. I am so impressed with him. Apuya did good job, but two players I want to mention, which is Manveer and Suresh. I think I am their fan. Of course, second up players, but these, why I'm saying these guys, they played from the start. It is not easy, as Renedy bhai was telling, the amount of running they did, and then seeing the match through till 93rd minute was amazing. It's not easy when you play physically strong, good team, and they keep you, you have to run a lot, and then you finish the game, and then still manage to score a fabulous goal and getting that deserving 1-1 draw. I thought guys have done wonderful. I think we should be proud, as Renedy bhai said, in coming years when they will be comfortable with in ball position, starting from the behind, because these guys have 10 years in their career still, easily. They are 20, 21. Maybe Manveer will be the only who's around 25. Rest of them are 20, 21. Akash Mishra, 18, 19. They will only grow. I think as of now, I can proudly say that future looks bright. And
sorted, sir. Sorted, sir. आपने कहा आप उन लड़कों के fan हो, हम आपके fan हैं, and we hope to see you again after the UAE match. So thank you so much for taking our time and joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, brother. Ishfaq. Have a nice day, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. You take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, just for all of you, we're not going right now. Renedy भाई को अभी हमने पकड़ के रखा हुआ है. हालांकि एनी भाई को लगा कि हम जा रहे हैं, वो चले गया, पता नहीं कहाँ गया है, आ जाएगा सुन. Renedy भाई, stopper was a position that we've spoken about for a long time. कि that partner for Sandesh, अभी भी खोज is on. Who is that partner? That long-term prospect. What did you make of Sana Singh, given that he's playing his first game?
I think it was a very good game. Sana, if you see the whole league, ISL Indian Super League, he was very, very comfortable with the game. The only thing he has to improve is his header on the air ball, but he can read the game so well. If you see the Hyderabad, I was watching closely, and he has got a good vision, good distribution. The only thing is speed and his power on the air. I think that's what he has to improve on. And I think for the first game, it was a very, very good. And the whole league, he has done well. He has done very well in Indian Super League as a stopper. So if we want to play out from the back, he is the one who's comfortable with the ball. But when
Akash,
Akash Mishra, I like him. He will be a great player someday. He have started. He works hard, and he can run 90 minutes, and then he's sensible. That guy, I think Akash Mishra, as we talk about, and Ashish Rai, who got injured, left and right, from Hyderabad FC, they bought a great left back and right back, and they will also do really well. And even the first timer, Akash Mishra, I think he has also done really well. Not easy to play this kind of game on your first game for India. But they have done well. Yes, there are many. Go on.
No, sorry. आप बोलिए.
There are many things that, of course, yes, we want to see them play like how they play in Indian Super League, but this is a different ball game. When you are playing with five good technically sound players, the game become much nicer, much more beautiful. But here we have to see that we are not on the same level of the technical quality. So we have to see now, like I said, how we consider the goal, how we had a penalty, how they couldn't score in a penalty. If you see the situation, we were trying to play from the back, and coach can understand this. Why, if we start playing while, if you want to go in a long way, be a powerhouse in Indian football, we have to start playing from the back. Also, we have to mix it up. So if we don't play, then to do that, we will lose some matches. But are we ready to see our Indian team losing many matches? Fans are not ready for that. But we have to. We will lose many matches for that. So are we just playing long, and then we will for forever we will just be playing long? So these are the things that we have to, and coach can see that. So if these players, Ishfaq we're talking about, they're all young. And if you don't make them play out from the back, or if you don't mix them up, they will not learn. But they are doing it in the Super League. There are some of the teams like Hyderabad, like Mumbai, they are playing a great football. I feel so they are learning. But even though if they wanted to do the same in Indian team, it's not easy because players are from different clubs, and in different clubs they play different style. So these are the things that, and then I feel with these young players, in Indian team right now, they have got a good future. But the only thing is we need to be patient. I'm sure everyone, after playing draw against 1-1 against Oman, everyone must be hoping that we will beat all the teams. No. We don't know. We will not. That will not happen. I'm telling you, against Afghanistan, we will still struggle. We will still struggle. I'm telling you that. But we against Qatar again, when we play, we may not struggle because we can run. We can
know what
defend.
we have to do.
We know what we have to do. But when the other teams are defending, we are not ready yet. That's a step that we have to move up. And in future they will.
Renedy bhai, I just wanted to highlight I mean हम कहते रहते हैं, एक तो stopper back की हमने बात करी, दूसरा crisis position in Indian football is striker. But it was so nice to see Manveer, the kind of game that he was playing. The way the team was set up, he was pretty much chasing lost causes. He would always have two defenders with him. He was always going to be in the like he would never have the superior numbers with him whenever he would have the ball. If Bipin was close, and second half mein, they started pressing a lot more, so he had a few more players around him to play with. So usne bada acha khela, and we spoke about how he got that one chance in the game और उसने goal मारा. I don't know if you noticed this, but for me, what I really liked was the interchanging of positions. Ishan आया, Manveer right wing पे आ गया. Bipin is equally आपका comfortable on right and left. Rainier आया, Rainier और यासिर के बीच में interchanging हो रही थी. यासिर जब आया, they were putting one more guy in the middle. So they had an extra man in the middle. Rainier, Yasir, Apuya, and Suresh. All four, 5 of them were there in the middle, giving space to Ashutosh to move up. So that fluidity, which was Ashik Kurunian went back to left full back in the middle of the game in the second half. And that was really nice to see, because अक्सर क्या कहते हैं कि जो खिलाड़ी 2 या 3 पोजीशन खेल सकता है, मतलब यहाँ से सेट है वो, और पहली चीज ठीक करने वाली यही तो होती है, उसके बाद everything else follows in the game after.
Yeah, I totally agree. Gone are those days where अगर left wing back है तो left wing में ही रहेंगे, आप right wing है तो right wing में रहेंगे. If you can't shuffle, आप एक दूसरे को understand नहीं करोगे position. That's a modern football. In nowadays अगर left wing में है तो हम left wing में रहेगा, अगर left back जाना होगा तो खुद अपने आप वापस जाएगा, हम आगे रहेगा. But this modern football, and if you see in all the big leagues, it be English Premier League or La Liga or anywhere, the positions they have to keep changing, and that's how you break the opponent. That's how you break down the opponent in that by shuffling and by shifting. And we can see bit by bit, and it will improve for sure. And we have to play many matches. साल में 2 बार match. Of course, yes, I know very, very well that it's very difficult to arrange a big match like this, but we have to keep arranging all this time so that they can improve. They will lose some, they will win some, but in future the advantages will be for us, and they have to play with some kind of style. So we have to play many more matches, and we will be able to see many more good things coming up. So but in this process, I'm sure we lost few that we have to be patient now.
Anyway, which of the debutants really impressed you, man? जो लड़के खेल रहे थे?
Ooh, a bunch actually. I mean, and I hope he continues in the form that he's been in. Sana Singh, I think, is a vital player for India because of the position he plays and also the way he. I'm sorry, guys. My internet is really messed up today. It keeps going in and out, so I don't know if this is coming through clearly. But
It's fine.
so I'll try to keep it quick.
Yeah, got
ये Eurosport के satellite has taken over again. हाँ जी, Renedy bhai.
Yeah, but we are talking about one player. I think there's not one complete team game. But if you see the players like Mawia, the way he has played in the league, I think that guy has got a good future. He is very young. He has got a leadership quality, and I was happy to see him. And I'm looking forward, like I said, to Liston. He's also very, very young, but that guy is good. You know, it's not easy, I think, for a coach to give him a chance against a team like Oman. I'm sure, but he will get some in UAE. But I'm really looking forward. That guy has got talent, and Yasir coming in second half. He has done well, and even in the first half, all this Rowling has been playing. He played few matches, good matches. But Suresh and Jackson coming in, of course, they have already played in Indian its level, so they know about it. I'm so happy to see Bipin, Suresh, Jackson. They all got exposure for many years. Bipin from nowhere, from nowhere, playing for the academy from academy in Lajong, and after that he was in the I League, the I League. In the I League, we went to ATK, and after that, even in Mumbai, he used to get 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and we have to give a coach a big credit for allowing him to enjoy the football that he have enjoyed. If you see, we talk about Jackie Chan when he was in Goa. Before that, Jackie Chan was playing in many other clubs, but we couldn't see the form that he was in what he had in Goa. Even last year, now he has joined back to Mumbai again. Jackie was in Jamshedpur FC. Did we see the same Jackie Chan? No. So coach play a very important role in a player like to sign like Bipin the way he have done well. So like for last 2 years, he's 26 or 25 or 26. Last 2 years he was in Mumbai, but he couldn't play the same. But in 2 years you cannot change that much. But look what the coach have done for Bipin, and the form is still, he is continuing the same form, and the amount of running left, right, he can cross and he can dribble. So that's a very good thing. Asif Kurniawan after injury is coming back. So I'm really happy to see the first 11 yesterday, and the other players who have come on sub. Now Holy Charan, what Holy Charan must be thinking now, and what are the other players who have played for many years, what they will be thinking. There is a tough competition in between the team. Holy Charan had a great league, but where he will come in. So whenever he comes in, he has to give his life, and then do something great so that he can his position back. So and Pandita, we were talking about the striker, right? But striker, I feel that is one position I feel, because Manbir, he loves to play from the wing. So now he played very well against Qatar. If you see when we did draw, but these are the games that we expect to run a lot and defend. But what about, like, again, I'm saying, when we play with a lesser opponent like
But I think Pandita gives you an option. Randy bhai, Pandita then gives you an option. He knows his running. He knows his runs.
Too early to say that. Yes, he have done well. He have done really well for Goa. But too early, let them enjoy the football. Let them, play for 2-3 years. Then Pandita, to expect something that to score for India straight away, it will take some time. And he has to play like, every night, a lot of 90 minutes before that. And of course, yes, he has good talent, but we have to give time for him also. So the big question is, do we really have a striker who can score, who can keep scoring? Yesterday, one chance, one goal. One chance, one goal is not going to come all the matches.
Yeah.
So who are our strikers?
We still have to. So you mentioned Liston a couple of times, and I'm really excited to see how he fits into the national team, because he's someone who has over the years at various levels shown the ability to go out and get those goals. So I'm very keen to see how that pans out for sure. I want to ask you, there are a bunch of, because you are now back home in Manipur, a little bit in the context of what's happening on the ground there. because we see two things happening. One is, of course, Niroka has been relegated from the I-League, so which is a blow to the scene in terms of local clubs in Manipur. But lots of these young boys who are breaking into the national team, Suresh, Yasir, Bipin, and a bunch of others who are also just Dheeraj is around, who are like sort of not so far away.
I think what he's saying is that Renedy भाई एक टाइम था कि मणिपुर का हमने आपसे बात भी करी थी कि and you had also said that for some reason that talent pool जो इतना देता है Indian football को वो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा कम हो रहा है. But now you're seeing a lot of these young boys who I wouldn't say have burst onto the scene. They're all boys who've been around the Indian domestic scene for a while. But the good thing is, it's good that they're being picked up. That they're being picked up and they're being given a chance. I think the biggest success for me, from a Stimac point of view, was that he has rewarded the players who have done well in the highest league in the country, and that is the way it is done. कि अगर कल को मैंने जाके ISL में अच्छा खेला है और मुझे कॉल अप ही नहीं आ रहा है, तो मैं कह रहा हूँ यार इसका फायदा क्या है भाई, यहाँ पे मैं इतना अच्छा खेल रहा हूँ पर मुझे नेशनल टीम में घुसने का मौका ही नहीं मिल रहा.
Yeah, I think Stimac has done the selection that they have done in the first 11. Like I said again, I think he have done well. These are the players that were performing really well, and some of them, most of them, happens to be from Manipur. So that's a big thing for them and a big challenge for them to stay, because this is just one match, and if they want to continue to play for 5-6 years, they have to give their best every single match so that they continue. Because this is just a friendly match and they have to continue doing that for long. And they are the example, and there are many other youngsters who are watching them, and they should just continue.
Can I just ask you just one thing? And this I might go a little off topic, because this is after the result that is panned out. And now because I'm following a lot of Indian football content on Instagram and all, because we have 420 grams with 5 S's. If you're not following us on Instagram, please do give us a follow. So I'm following a lot of these platforms, and a lot of these platforms have a lot of following because a lot of Indian football is here. Now I'm just saying, in particular, say for a player like Apuya, आज ही सुबह मैंने एक photo देखा जिसमें someone had branded him the next Iniesta of India. So they've photoshopped his photo with Iniesta and Messi and doing that. I'm sure a lot of people on Twitter are writing a lot of philosophical stuff. इतना अच्छा ये लगा so on and so forth. To a young player like Apuya Renedy bhai, who I'm sure has a lot of offers for next season, and I'm sure Northeast United also wants to keep him, and I'm sure they'll tell him, you will be our captain, we will form the team around you. How would you advise? Because at the end of the day, है तो 45 मिनट ही खेला है, अभी तो बहुत कुछ करना बाकी है. How do you sort of, ignore all that's around you? Because sometimes it can be detrimental to you going forward.
But Apuya is a guy, I feel, I've watched few of his interviews. I think he's a guy who is under control. And there are a few players who are not under control, and they play 1 or 2 matches very well, and then they missed out. So, but he's a guy, I think, who is really humble and doing well. And the thing he has to see is, do not worry about what people are saying. Iniesta, Javi, be your own Puya. You have to brand yourself, your Puya everywhere. And the way he had played, we cannot copy anyone. He has to come out with his own style, and then he has got his own style, and he's very calm and composed with the ball, and he can score too. At that we have seen even yesterday when he came on. Because that's only because a player like Suresh, Jackson, Puya, they all played in Indian team in the S level, and they had an exposure trip, and also it helps, and it was showing. For the first time, you just get in, and then sometimes you see they are nervous, but nothing was showing, and it was good to see that, and he was quite confident. And playing in Indian Super League, playing with other stars, playing with good players who have played in the high level. Training alongside them day in day out, it helps, and it's helping Indian football if you see. And Apuya, I think he'll be a good player, just that he has to be, and he's in control. I'm sure he continue doing that.
Ani भाई, आप उसको क्या बोलोगे कि ऑफर्स की कमी तो होगी नहीं? अच्छा, हमारे भाई को फिर यूरोस्पोर्ट ने टंका मार दिया है.
I think about and then about the offers, as a player,
Renedy, what would you say, Renedy?
He has to see. To a player, I would say that, just he should be talking to the coach and he should see, who will be his next coach. So he's going to earn a lot of money for sure. He's young. If he continues playing the same, he's going to earn a lot. But he has to see that. He was not really happy. This is what I felt, in the first few matches. And after that, when Khalid came, I think he was a different player altogether. So you have to see that, who you're working with and how the coach is going to play you, and that's very important for a player. If you gel with the coaches, if you like the playing style, and because you have to enjoy, money will come wherever. So we have seen that. Look at our player. I give an example again. Jackie. I'm sure Jackie has got a lot of money from here. I've earned quite a lot of money from Jamshedpur FC. But then but we couldn't see the same Jackie as what we have seen in Goa, did we? We didn't, no. Right? So Apuya the same. So it's so important for Apuya to see that, if he will be able to gel with the playing style wherever he wants to go, or wherever he is right now.
My 2 cents is this, Renedy bhai, that see, all the potential we are seeing in Apuya, all of that will go to waste if he goes to a team next season and he's playing half the games. He's playing half the minutes. All of that will go to waste. The Apuya you're seeing on the field and the calm, collective Apuya you saw in the game versus Oman was a result of playing 90 minutes for Northeast United every week in the last ISL. At least from my point of view, it would say ki, bhai, abhi, I know, who am I to tell you what money offer you should take, what shouldn't you take. But if you're looking at the long game, stick to Northeast. This team will be built around you. You have won the team over. You will be captain of this team. Play for 1 more year. And then think of making a big money move if you have to make a big money move.
Yeah, I totally agree. When you are 18, 19, 20, 21, if you're thinking about the money, and if you're not thinking about your position, if you're not thinking about your match time, you will lose out. For them, who are the players like Suresh and Apuya, they have to play many more matches. Or Jackson, they have to play match after match. If they go just to, of course, money is important. I can understand. Players' football career is very, very short. They have to earn money. But if you can wait for 1-2 years, you can earn the double for sure. So they have to play. First thing is they have to play more matches, and things will take care by itself.
ठीक है Renedy bhai, I think we've spoken enough. Before we say goodbye to the family that have tuned in on a Friday afternoon, much love to all of you. 3 baje aap log aa gaye. Anything else you want to add before the UAE game? What are you expecting? Are you expecting him, because given his track record, who would say that he won't give many more players chances to play in the 11 that plays versus UAE? You suppose you might see a completely different playing 11 versus UAE, or around about the same?
So, no, there is 2 things, and he may completely change the team, or he start with almost the same. Yeah, because I feel that I would love to see that starting with almost the same, because one match is not enough. But these are the players that who have done really well in the league. So why not we give them one more chance and see? Because the players, there were 4 or 5 players who have already played many more matches for the Indian team. You have seen them. You just have. It's all about the fitness for them. But these are the players that I would love to see them again. How well they can perform against UAE. So I would love to see that, at least, if you ask me. But there are 2 things: he may completely change, or he may start with almost the same.
Sorted. Renedy bhai, it was a pleasure having you on our show, and long may this continue. Thank you so much for taking out time and joining us. And
thanks,
we hope
brother
you can take out time
Thank you.
after the UAE game also, and joining us for the show. To all of you, just a reminder, please do follow us on Instagram. That is where we put out all our content. That is where we put out all our notifications as to when our shows are coming and so on. We will do a show after the UAE game. We won't do any previews before that. We'll probably do a show on the I-League as well, because it's building up to a final day, an exciting final day, which has been a part of this league over the last couple of years as well. So we'll probably do that. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Renedy bhai. And thank you so much to Siddhant, who probably added the most on the show with his analysis. It was lovely to get his analysis on the show. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Renedy bhai. Thank you.